Hey, welcome to Growing, devotions for your daily life. Some of you would know what this is right here if you work on a farm or you're around animals or maybe you grew up on a farm. This right here is a cattle prod. And doing a little research on this cattle prod, this is not something that you want to use on humans, even though some people do. In some countries, they use this as a torture device. Why? Because it's strong enough to burn through the skin of people. And so what farmers will do if they're trying to get cattle through a pen and they don't want to go, they take and just zap a real quick zap on the cows. But on humans, this is a terrible thing. I thought about the verse, Ephesians chapter 6, fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. I thought about when we provoke our children to wrath, it's really no different than just continually taking a cattle prod and poking them and poking them and poking them. Eventually, they are going to become angry. Well, what makes people angry? Not just your child, but what makes people angry? What is it that you keep doing that's constantly driving somebody crazy? And you're taking this cattle prod and you're constantly sticking it in their side. Well, as I thought about children in general, I thought about these things that some people smother their children so much that they honestly are saying that, you know what, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You don't let them go anywhere. You don't let them do anything. And so these children literally become angry. Some parents are just the opposite. You know what? I rode around with the Greensboro police officer one night. It was 3 in the morning, and I was watching 6 and 7-year-olds run around neighborhoods at 3 in the morning. We were literally taking them back to their houses while their parents were asleep on the couch. You know what that's saying? I don't love you. You know, and that right there, by not loving your child and making sure you know where they're at, that right there is also a way that you can provoke your children to wrath. There is a delicate balance between smothering your child and then also letting your child go. There's a second thing, is that when you show favoritism to one child over the other, you know what? Neither one of your children are different. Mine are totally different. You got some that are left brain, some that are right brain, some that's going to work with their hands and they do a good job. The other one couldn't turn a wrench if they had to, but they can play the piano. Every child is different. And if you want to provoke your child and poke your child, start comparing them to the other children. There is no win in this comparison. In fact, you look at Isaac preferred or favored Esau over Jacob, and Rebekah preferred Jacob over Esau. To this day, there's still controversy because of what happened in that family. There's a third way, is that when we push our children past reasonable bounds, we push them and push them. If it's in sports, if it's in school. I have somebody that I know that was pushed so hard in school that they had a nervous breakdown. And sometimes it's themselves, by the way. It's not their family. But there have been people that have been in institutions that committed suicide because they never could please their parents because they were constantly being pushed and pushed and pushed. Now, what's something else? What about when your child is never able to please you and you're constantly discouraging your child and they try to do the best they can and you say it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. You watch these children continuously become angry. And lastly, that you fail to sacrifice for your child. You fail to sacrifice for your child. How many times have you not stepped up and helped your child when they've needed you? Or they needed you to take them somewhere or just buy them something, and there's parents out there that do not step up and sacrifice for their children. You know what it does? It drives that wedge. It takes that prod and it pokes it once again. And these children do not forget these things. I want to tell you what, we can do a lifetime of damage to our children if we constantly take this prod and poke and poke and poke. They don't forget that. Tell you what, find out, where am I prodding? Where am I constantly poking? Repent of that and make it right and start asking the Lord to help you do better. Hope you have a great day. God bless.